you feel trapped in your current job, doing everything right, but you still feel broke, I'm going to walk you step by step through the process I use to double my income by switching careers. This is without starting a business, going back to school, and without starting a side hustle. I personally went from working in the lab to sales. This framework works for any profession who feels stuck and wants more upside in their future. I want to be clear. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's also not a pitch that sales is for everybody. This is a practical career strategy for people who are good at what they do, but realize that their effort and income aren't always connected. When I was working in the lab, things looked fine on paper. I had a degree, I had a stable job, and I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do. But over time, I realized something uncomfortable. No matter how good I got, no matter how hard I worked, my income was basically fixed. Annual raises were small, promotions were slow, and the gap between effort and reward kept getting wider. And this is the part a lot of people can relate to. I didn't hate my job. I just felt trapped. I saw no future in being able to afford a house or being able to afford the middle-class life we were all sold to as kids. It took me a while to come to the realization that I needed to either pivot into a new advanced degree like an MBA or a PhD, or I needed to pivot into something like computer science where the roles seemed to be paying a lot more. But instead of chasing just purely the industry or the career that would give you the best salary, I thought roles that pay you for your time instead of roles that pay you for outcomes. So instead of trading your time for money, trading outcomes for rewards. And once I saw that, I stopped asking about jobs that I could qualify for, and I started asking what roles reward performance and results. For me, that led to sales, specifically technical sales. Not because I wanted to be in sales, but because it checked all three boxes. One, it rewarded performance. Two, it used skills that I already had. And three, it had real upside potential. And here's the important part. Sales isn't about being pushy or loud. At its core, it's about effective communication, understanding your customers' problems, and helping people make decisions. If I could make the transition from lab into sales, then anyone with professional experience can make the same transition. And this is where most people get stuck. They think, I don't have experience in that role. But experience isn't just job titles, it's skills and context. For example, in the lab, I was troubleshooting problems, explaining technical concepts, working cross-functionally with other team members, improving processes, and delivering outcomes under time constraints. These are valuable skills. They were just described the wrong way. And this applies to everybody. It applies to engineers, analysts, operations, healthcare, finance, you name it. The key isn't about changing who you are. It's about changing how you frame what you already do. The next big shift was how I approached the job search. Most people apply online and wait. I did that at first and nothing happened. So I changed the goal. Instead of trying to get hired, I focused on having conversations. I reached out to people doing the role. I asked about their day-to-day. I learned how they got hired, and something interesting happened. Once people understood my background and intent, they started advocating for me. Conversations led to referrals. Referrals led to interviews, and that part is universal, no matter what career you're pivoting into. When offers came in, I didn't just look at the number. I asked, how is compensation structured? How does success look like in year one? And how many people actually hit their targets? And what's the total compensation package look like? These are important questions because they not only are important to how you're going to get paid in the future, but they also show the interviewer that you've been around sales professionals, you know the nomenclature, and you know how to effectively communicate as if they were your client, and you know how to sell yourself just as you're going to be selling their product to their clientele in the future. So if I had to boil this down into a repeatable system, it would go like this. Identify roles where effort and income are linked. Translate your existing skills into outcomes. 3, bypass online applications with real conversations. Reach out to people in the industry. And 4, evaluate offers with clarity, not emotion. And that's it. No business, no extra degrees, and no pretending. I wrote this entire process out into a simple step-by-step checklist that works whether you're in the lab, operations, engineering, or any type of other corporate role. If you want it, it's free. Link is in the description. And if you're someone who feels stuck financially, but knows you're capable of more, subscribe. This channel is about building careers with leverage, not hype.